I don't see a ship when I look at it. I see like a tree house, and it's kind of like in this fantasy realm. But I like the way the fans are and the blades, the way it would be sailing through the air.
That little barrel on the side is really cool. But you didn't bring that melting effect into one certain area. You kind of tried to mimic it everywhere. It's just so confusing. I would have tried to steer that ship in a different direction.
Today you had the ultimate test of flexibility, collaborating with another artist to create one tattoo. Sausage and Maddie. Explain this design a little bit.
This is actually just like a big giant mix of the coolest stuff out of Japanese styles that I like to put into things.
This tattoo for me is very confusing. Usually when we give somebody stylistically, they're open to do whatever they want. They tend to do what they're really good at. I don't feel like either one of you would claim Japanese as their main focus in art and tattooing. To choose something that's neither one of your specialties is confusing to me.
Well, if you've ever been given so much to choose from that you just go wild.
All the strong things that y'all have both done through this competition, you're like, oh, we already did that. Let's not do that anymore. And that, to me, that's a bummer.
I wanted to come up with something that was really cool. Technically sound, it's there. Saturated everything, it's there. Skin's breathing through the I mean, to me, it just breathes awesome.
Technically, this tattoo is smooth throughout. I'm just not thrilled about this design.
It kind of looks like someone hit a dragon with a baseball bat and just smushed the face in. Having said that, I love it technically, and I think that the line work and the color work, everything is really solid and tight.
It is tattooed well, but there's 4 people up here that just don't aesthetically like it. You guys should be knocking out of the park together.
This is a solid piece with color all over it.
Dude, it's just a flat tire. Sausage, why are you so pissed,
It's just
man?
a difference in
No,
taste.
dude.
Why are you so, like, well, what's your problem?
I knew that you were gonna tear it. I love it.
Great, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Nobody else does.
I think that
Opinions are dime a dozen, man.
You have the ability to do whatever you want on somebody. Don't do passion pieces, do showstoppers. Do something that's a fight. If not, you yourself. Do you understand you can go home for this?
No way. I
Okay,
don't see it.
no way.
I don't
Buddy,
see it,
careful
dude.
what you wish for.
Today, all of you went head-to-head creating biomechanical tattoos. Chris.
The overall feel of this tattoo is a little confusing.
There's too much going on in that small of an area. If the scale was bigger, you would have been more successful. I think there's a little bit too much detail in this one.
Today, Maddie challenged you to tattoo a detailed Venetian mask. Megan Jean.
This tattoo is very confusing. It's a hair that's coming off the top of it. Is it a weird receding hairline? Is it part of the mask? Is it part of the face? Nobody can tell what the is going on with this tattoo. When you look at any part of this tattoo really close, there's not a lot of crisp line details.
I thought I did a good job with the details.
Look at the quality of the tattooing that you do in that filigree. It's not competitive.
Venetian masks, they are actually really choppy when you get up close. They're not clean lines.
You're lawyering. You can't come and compete and be like, oh, I did messy because it's messy. Because of what you did here, for me, you're definitely in the bottom 3. I will see you at the end of the day.
Today, you had to show dimension by creating stonework tattoos. Let's see how you did. Jason.
Everywhere in this lion, it's all blended so smooth that this guy looks like rubber. It's just a bunch of blobby, shaded
Well, I mean,
areas.
it is a statue.
It's not hitting dimension because the way that the archway comes into the eyes, you now put it back on the same plane. Your background becomes your foreground in essence. Your design's confused.
Today, you had to freehand your design directly onto your canvas. Jason.
The composition on this one seems a little bit confusing, where the axe disappears behind the top of the helmet and where the axe handle comes down don't seem to line up.
Axe handles aren't straight. They do run at a curve.
The possibility of that curve is a very highly unlikely one. And the relationship of where the eye sits in the helmet versus how long that cheek comes down and then that mustache starts, it seems stretched. From the mouth to the eye, we got a couple extra people there.
One of us is definitely going to the bottom.
Today, you had to show your attention to detail by tattooing animal pinups. Let's see how you did. Holly.
I love her pose, but the front leg is smaller than the back leg. The perspective looks a little off to me right there.
Her left arm, it's anatomically confusing as to what's happening. It looks too short, and you kind of just stuck it into her hair. Total cop-out.
12 hours on the leg. The artist picked skulls to determine which style they had to tattoo, but the subject matter was up to them. The top-ranked tattoo earns an automatic spot in the top 4.
That's a huge advantage.
Huge advantage. We're critiquing blind. We don't know whose tattoo is whose. And we're ranking them individually, and we won't know each other's scores. Let's take a look at the first tattoo. Neo-traditional.
Oh, is this the part where I take my hat off? Okay, here we go.
Wow, okay, that's a lot going on. It's the wolf in sheep's clothing.
All right, he gets it.
Wolf's head is done really, really well. There's a lot of character to both faces, but it looks kind of like a stack of sandwich.
Damn it.
It's just like layered on so many things.
I actually really like this illustration. He's taken the sheep and he's tied it on as his armor. So the wool is on his arm. The wool follows down from the head onto the arm. He's wearing it. And then he's turned the rope on the arms into like armor, but you can see it's rope. It's really clever.
But I feel like the fucking shoulders are literally coming out of his head.
Yeah.
It's just really confusing.
The only way you could really view it in order for it to make sense is from the front. As it wraps, the rest of it just gets so stacked like a totem pole.
It's got so many great parts, and at the same time, none of them complement each other.
I mean, it is creative Jason over here, but maybe too creative. Oh, man. Ooh.
It's not easy doing neo-tradi, bro. But listen, that tat is a badass tat, dude.
For your first elimination tattoo, you had 6 hours to tattoo whatever you want. Any style, any subject. Let's see how you did. Aaron. The tiger is badass, but when I look at the lady, I can't tell, is she wearing it? Is she riding it?
You have this crazy, ferocious, aggressive tiger lunging, and she's just straight chilling.
I feel like it's the way her hands are. The bottom hand, it's kind of hugging. The top one is like...
Yeah.
Very caressing.
Like, it doesn't look like a hug.
It brings too much question to it. And whenever you question things too much, it gets confusing.
Today, you had to show your creativity with a full-color hybrid beast tattoo. Let's see how you did. Freddie.
I don't think you killed it on the illustration.
The head and the claws are badass, but then you look up above and you see the gold bubbles with the wing, and you're like, well, that wing's kind of weird.
That part is just wrong. This caramel corn coming out from the back of the head, I don't know where you were going.
Nothing repeats itself. The wing on the right doesn't match the wing on the left, and so the eye kind of gets confused as to what it's supposed to look at.
Charlene. You got the movement of the bull and the eagle really nice.
But I feel like the back wing is the outside of the wing and not the inside.
Usually it's the inside of the bird wing that has all of different detail and everything, and the outside is usually more monotone and simple. It got a little bit confusing in a lot of areas.
I know who did each tattoo, but the three of you do not. Safety from elimination and a spot on your team is on the line.
Yeah, I just want to be safe.
You guys ready to look at some tattoos?
That's mine.
Death butterfly.
The ribcage is cool.
The skull's a bit confusing for me.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
If I cover from the skull and the ribs down, the top is still a butterfly. If I cover the butterfly, I'm like...
What's going on?
Yeah.
It's got like ribcage antlers.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the transformation.
Oh, wow, that got crunched, man. That butterfly definitely ended up in a lawnmower or something.
It lines up, though.
What defeated it was doing something symmetrical on a body part that isn't.
That's a tough ask.
Thank you, DJ.
The Young Guns had 5 hours to tattoo in one of 3 distinct styles. American traditional, Japanese, or new school. This is a blind critique. Let's see how they did. Let's bring up the first tattoo.
Oh, no, it's mine.
Overall, I think this tattoo is adorable. I mean, look at this thing, guys. Look at the little teeth and the little lips and the cute little button nose.
I love the illustration. This little boy, this like cold look coming out of the graveyard, but that almost coffin shape behind the tattoo is a little bit confusing to where the boy comes out of it in certain areas, but doesn't in others.
The frog is amazing. I really love the frog. It like really captures my imagination. Then everything else is an afterthought.
I did do it at the end of when I had already designed everything. So he nailed it. He nailed it, yeah.
Bring up the next tattoo.
Who that?
Oh, that's mine.
New school. It's vibrant.
I don't really understand what's going on the bottom. They look like suction cups.
I feel like it's a squid.
But then I think that's like a crab claw at the top.
Look, if you cover those bottom tentacles, it's kind of a cool tattoo.
It's a cool tattoo.
And
like
then
that.
if you cover the face, it's its own cool little character-y, tentacle-y dude. But together, it was two pieces that look like they were just stuck together.
It wasn't transition cohesive, how to feel like one piece.
I just tried to design something that was like me.
Today, you had to show composition with Japanese samurai tattoos. Let's see how you did. Lucy.
I like the overall composition, the way the waves come down over the knee, the way they're splashing out away from the snake.
The way the snake breaks off, it's like a cheese grater. Just the scales kind of break off, it gets a little confusing.
That's the only part that bothers me, but I love the snake head. I love the eye of the snake. It's so great. I think it's badass.
Thank you.
That snake head was dope.
Anthony.
I like the overall composition of your tattoo. The way you illustrated the nose, it's got great shape and it has motion, but as you go up and it meets up right with the opposite eye, it gets a little confusing.
A lot of the lines in this are all over the place. When we get into those thins, everything has a little bit of a shake to it. If you focus more on cleaner lines in your piece, it would take it to the next level.
Today, the artist had 6 hours to tattoo a portrait of a service dog. They are fighting for safety from elimination.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
Now, you guys don't know which artist did which portrait. The artists are watching the critique from the design room.
Now I'm scared.
That is mine.
I am excited to see a first color portrait. It's really well packed and solid, but the bubble kind of gets a little confusing. If you look at the reference where the eye is, the pink highlight, it almost covers that tear duct area. But when you go to the tattoo, the tear duct area kind of overpowers that highlight. And so it creates the illusion that the eye is closer than the bubble.
They did get the shape of the dog right, but they missed the color of the dog, which is like this dark chocolate, and the portrait looks like a black dog.
I hate to burst the bubble, but I'd like to on this one.
I took liberty on lightening it up, but yeah, I should have kept more brown in the schnoz. And
That was a little bit rough compared to your last critiques.
it was. It was hard, guys, okay? We hide our pain till now.
All right, judges. The artist had 6 hours to prove their ingenuity by tattooing scars. We don't know who did what, but safety from elimination is on the line.
Oh, that's my guy.
This was the gentleman who was hit by the speeding car.
I like the wolf. It's a bold tattoo, strong outline, nice gray shading, but the thorns, it's kind of like too much of it. It could have broken up in some spots. I like the way the paw's drawn and the nails.
It's just a little exaggerated how that paw would actually curl. The wrist of the paw goes back like it should be the other leg, and then it curls around and goes to the other side.
Where that claw is coming from is confusing to me.
They did a great job of covering this scar. It's the illustration that I have a problem with.
It is fucking clean. Like, you
Yeah.
can't argue that.
And it's tough not being there to be able to tell them the story of why I did the things that I did, but if I'm in the bottom, I'll just fucking fight my way to the top.